Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie. And we have a great class today where we won't need any props, but as you know, I love to have my blocks. So have anything that works for you that you like to have, but otherwise we're not using anything in particular. And we're going to start out in a reclined space. So you can come onto your back and settle in by just determining where you want your arms and legs to be. And once you've found your spot, maybe kind of wiggle into that space and close your eyes as we start to tap into our Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Taking this time to connect with our breath. It'll be our energy source throughout our practice. So as we inhale, feeling the space right below the navel start to lift. As it draws upward, we'll feel an expansion in the belly, the side bodies, the rib cage, and that breath draws all the way up to where it lifts the collarbones. As we exhale, we're going to feel our belly button draw in towards the spine, allowing us to use all three parts of the lungs. We've been talking about the chakras in my class, and we're currently in the sixth chakra, or the third eye chakra, which is located in between the eyebrows. It's associated with the color indigo. So you might envision an indigo light coming from that area of the body. And in many traditions, the third eye is believed to be the seat of the soul, or the portal between the physical and the spiritual realms. You might think of it as your inner GPS, guiding you even when you can't see the whole road ahead. Also, it's associated with the mantra Om, and the affirmation I have for you today that goes along with our third eye chakra, our sixth chakra, is I'm a magnet for miracles. So inhaling, I'm a magnet. Exhale for miracles. And the more that we say things like this to ourselves on a regular basis, I want to encourage you to say this to yourself on a regular basis, because just watch the miracles come in, just watch the abundance come in, because we're all about putting our mindset in a great place for things that we want and for things that we deserve. And that way, our mindset isn't somewhere where we don't want, because that could be the worst case that we create for ourselves. On our next inhale, let's find a nice full body stretch. You might extend the arms up overhead, you can extend your legs out in front of you, any other movement that feels good at this time, maybe moving the head from side to side, maybe making some rotations in the wrists and the ankles, just saying hello to your body. And then we'll bring our hands together at our heart center, or Anjali Mudra, as we set our intention for our practice today. And maybe that intention is using the affirmation of I'm a magnet for miracles, or maybe something else comes to mind that speaks to you in this moment. Please honor that. We'll take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Yeah, and then when you're ready, we'll start to bring our knees into our chest. We can give them a nice big hug, maybe rocking along the spine here, or finding our happy baby pose, just incorporating our breath with our movement. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, bring your knees into your chest, give them a nice big hug, maybe round the spine, draw the nose towards the knees, making yourself into this little ball. And then we'll release our feet onto the mat from here. Our head is on the mat, and our arms are down by our sides, because we're going to come into our flowing bridge. So as we inhale, push into the feet, lifting up one vertebra at a time as you reach the arms up overhead. And then as we exhale, arms come down by our sides as we lower it down. So we'll create a rhythm where we inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower, just moving at your pace. So no rush, just really trying to incorporate our breath with our movement right from the beginning. Really nice. We'll do a couple of these. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhaling, we lift. Exhale, we lower. And then bring the knees into your chest. Give them a nice big hug as we start to rock and roll forward and back. So we can come into our tabletop position just to kind of check in with the hands. So we're going to move into our down dog right away. So we'll spread through the fingers nice and wide, and then we can tuck those toes under, lifting up those hips as we start to find some movement in this first down dog of the practice. Taking a big breath in, And then as you exhale, walk your hands to your feet. So we're gonna come all the way to the back of the mat. We'll come into our forward fold, maybe reaching for opposite elbows, maybe bringing the arms behind the back, maybe walking the hands from side to side, just breathing into those side bodies, just checking it out. Inhaling. As we exhale, release whatever arm variation you have and roll it all the way up to standing. We'll draw the shoulders all the way up, back, and down, finding our mountain pose. Inhale, arms will reach up overhead, gaze is lifted. Exhale, forward fold, so either swan diving or bringing the hand through heart center. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale into your forward fold. And then bring your gaze forward, bend the knees enough to where the hands come onto the mat as we walk it into our plank pose. From our plank pose, we'll slowly lower with muscle, either all the way down or maybe we hover chaturanga. Inhaling into our cobra or maybe up dog if you're ready. And then we exhale into our down dog. And then as we inhale, we straighten that leg. Exhale, knee draws the nose as we bring that foot in between the hands. So if you have blocks or props that you like to have to each side of the foot, go ahead and do that. And we'll start to shift forward and back from a runner's lunge to our pyramid-like pose. Next time that we shift it forward, go ahead and stay in this runner's lunge. We're gonna lift up for our exalted warrior. So that right arm is gonna come behind us as the left arm reaches up. You might have that arm wrap around the lower back and come to the outer edge of that left thigh. Maybe you gaze past your shoulder, maybe you gaze up towards the fingertips. Totally up to you. Inhale. And then as we exhale, we're gonna face the opposite long edge of the mat as we come into a wide twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up as we open up towards the back of our mat. Stacking shoulder on top of shoulder, so shifting forward so you're not sitting into the heels. Big breath in. Exhale, lower that left hand down, and then soften the left knee. We're gonna face the back coming into this runner's lunge as we move into our eagle pose. So right leg is on top. So you might have your big toe onto the mat, or you might find space to wrap that foot around the calf. And then since right leg is on top, right arm comes underneath, reaching either for opposite shoulders, or maybe you have space to wrap the arms around each other, bringing those shoulders down and elbows away from the chest as you find a focal point to focus on. Inhale. As we exhale, we're coming into standing side bend. So right leg comes behind you and arms will reach up overhead as we take hold of that right one. Move towards the side. Inhale. As we exhale, we're making a little semicircle down. We're going to move down maybe on a block as we open it up to our half moon. So right arm and leg lift, flexing through that foot. Inhale. Exhale, big bend in the knees, soft landing coming into runner's lunge to a runner's twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up as you stack shoulder on top of shoulder. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the left hand down. We're coming into our seat, so we're gonna bring that right leg behind the left, and we're gonna come all the way onto our back. So we're gonna find our eagle pose on our back. So left leg is on top, which means left arm is underneath. And then we'll reach the space across the whole leg extended. The arms up over whole leg extended, hands out in front of it. As we exhale, we'll bring it in for the crunch. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 7, 6, 5. My body's making farting, so it better if it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. So we'll bring our arms out to the sides. We'll come into a spinal twist. I'm having lower back farts. Great. So you can bring your hand on that top leg, maybe gazing past the left fingertips as you come into the spinal twist. Oh, Lionel's like, you're on the ground. I must come back for pets. Take one more breath in. Exhale. And then we'll bring our gaze and our legs to center. We'll give them a nice hug as we roll it up. And we're going to make our way to down dog. So if you want to take a little detour to your tabletop position and then come into down dog, that's perfect. And then go ahead and lift up your left leg. Open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. Stay or start to make your circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. We inhale, straightening that leg. Exhale, knee draws the bring it all the way through for our runner's lunge. And we'll start to shift forward and back here. So if you want they're on the other side, go ahead and get them. Next time that we shift it forward, moving into that exalted warrior. So left arm comes behind you as right arm reaches up. Maybe wrapping that arm around, finding your focal point, and be sure to keep bending that forward leg. Sometimes when we move our gaze, we start to straighten through that leg. Inhale. And then as we exhale, face the opposite direction for that wide twist. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up as we twist towards the front of our mat. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the right hand down and then start to soften that right knee as we walk forward, coming into that runner's lunge, facing at the front of our mat to our eagle pose. So this time, left leg is on top, left arm is underneath as we sit back into that heel. Working those shoulders down, elbows are away from the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, we'll release for that standing side bend. So left leg comes behind, arms reach up over as you take hold of that left wrist and lean in towards the right. Inhale. Exhale, take that semicircle down to where we set up for our half moon, opening it up. So left arm and leg lift. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, big bend in that knee, soft landing for our runner's lunge to our twist. So left hand is down, right arm reaches up, stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Inhale. And then as we exhale, lower that right hand down. We're facing forward, coming into that seat. So bring your left leg behind the right as you come onto your seat. And then we're going to come all the way onto our backs, coming into our eagle pose. So right leg is on top. Right arm is underneath, and once you find your eagle pose on your back, exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, forward. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, body fart, 3, 2, and 1. You can also move into that spinal twist, letting the legs fall over towards the left, maybe gazing past your right fingertips as you kind of settle into this space. So try not to grip or hold on here. Exhale, we'll bring our gaze back to center. We'll bring our legs to center. And we'll start to rock and roll, meeting in our mountain pose at the top of our mat. So again, work those shoulders all the way up, back, and down. And then let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. Hands plant as we step or float back. Making our way to our down dog via this vinyasa, or you can always skip it for our sun salutation A. Full breath in here. Exhale, and then bend the knees, gazing forward as we step or float to the top. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse. Reach it up and back. Exhale forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant as we step or float back, making our way to our down dog in any way that you choose. Full breath in. Exhale, soften those knees. We gaze forward as we step or float. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse. Reach it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands as we step or float, making our way to down dog. Big breath in. Exhale. Softening those knees, we gaze forward as we step, float, make our way to the top of the mat however you like. And we'll meet in our mountain pose because that is our warm-up for today. So we'll start to move into our first main sequence of the practice. If you're new to my class, I do 2 main sequences that are repeated. So first time is a little bit slower with little add-ons if there's any to provide, for just depending on what the sequence looks like. And then we pick up the pace, moving more of 1 breath, 1 posture 2 times. And then we do the second one, and then we bring them together. So I call the first one peanut butter, the second one jelly. And then we bring those 2 sequences together for one long, delicious, tasty sandwich sequence. Yeah, that's what happens. But peanut butter starts out at the top of our mat in eagle pose. So that's another thing. The warm-up is long because we take a lot of the poses from it and put it into the sequences. So we'll start out with our left leg is on top and our left arm is underneath as we sit into our eagle pose, finding that focal point or drishti to focus on. Big breath in here. Exhale. And then standing side bend, left leg comes behind as we reach for that left wrist. We lean in towards the right. Big breath here. Exhale, make that semicircle to your half moon. So left arm and leg lift as we open it up towards the long edge of the mat. Flexing through that left foot. And then we bend that knee, coming into our runner's twist. So left hand down, right arm reaches up. You could also come into a side plank if you prefer from here. So know that there are more options. Inhale. Exhale, gaze towards your left hand and heels in, toes out. We're gonna come into goddess and with our eagle arms. So left arm comes underneath right. Maybe finding a little bit of movement from side to side or some little bounces here. This first time in our goddess, working that weight into the heels. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2 to our back. So maybe palms face up here as we gaze past those left fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. Sky Archer will straighten that leg, reaching for our left wrist as we lean it back. And then we'll reach towards the back of our mat, setting up for triangle pose, stacking shoulder on top of shoulder, really sitting back into the space. Inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. We're in our runner's lunge facing the back. So this is an infinity flow. So we go right into our eagle pose. Right leg is on top. Right arm is underneath as we sit it back into that heel, finding our focal point or drishti to focus on. Inhale. Exhale, standing side bend. Right leg comes behind and we reach for that right rib as we lean in. Exhale, taking that semicircle to our half moon, opening up towards the long edge of the mat. Big bend in the knee, soft landing for our runner's twist. Right hand is down, left arm reaches up, or option to take any version of a side plank that you might want to. Big breath in. Exhale, gaze down towards your right hand. Goddess stance, so heels in, toes out. Right arm comes underneath left as we come into our eagle arms at the same time. Maybe finding some movement here. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2 facing the front. Maybe palms face up. Checking in with your breath here. Feeling the side bodies of the rib cage expand. Big breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Sky archer. Reaching for that right wrist. I'm going to do exhale. Knee the way to my triangle pose. Right arm down. Left arm up. Leaning back as you breathe into that heart center. Exhale, lower that hand down. We're in our runner's lunge. We start to pick up the pace on this, which will feel fast because it's an infinity flow. So left leg is on top, left arm underneath, eagle pose to standing side bend. Semicircle it down to your half moon, opening it up. And softening that knee as we come into our runner's twist. Exhale, gaze down towards your hand. Goddess stance, heels and toes out, left arm underneath. Warrior two to the back. Inhale, coming into sky archer. Exhale, moving into our triangle pose. Nice, and then bring that hand down, we face the back. Setting up for eagle, right leg is on top, right arm underneath. To standing side bend. We'll semicircle it down to our half moon. And then big bend in the knee, soft landing to our runner's twist. Gaze is down, goddess stance, heels and toes out. Right arm comes underneath. To our warrior two. Inhale, sky archer. Exhale to triangle pose. And then left hand comes down, we face back forward, setting up for eagle. To standing side bend. Semicircle it to half moon. Runner's twist, we inhale. Exhale, gaze down. Goddess legs, left arm underneath as we inhale into our goddess. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Inhale, sky archer. Exhale, moving into our triangle pose. And then right arm comes down. Right leg comes over, eagle pose, standing side bend. Semicircle it down to our half moon. To our runner's twist. Gaze down, goddess, heels and toes out, right arm underneath. To warrior two, facing the front. Inhale, sky archer. Exhale, triangle pose. And then we'll bring that hand down and we can find any resting position of choice. How are you doing? That's peanut butter. You did it. So take a moment just to check in with your breath. Slow it down if it started to speed up. Get a drink of water, towel off, whatever it is that you need. Because what's next is jelly time. So jelly will start out in our down dog. And before you make your way there, let's check in with our affirmation of inhaling, I'm a magnet. Exhale for miracles. I'm a magnet for miracles. All right, let's get into that jelly. So we'll make our way to our down dog. As we inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we'll bring it through, coming into exalted like we did in the warm-up. So right arm behind, left arm reaches up. As we exhale, we'll face the other long edge for that wide twist. So right hand comes down, left arm up, stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. From this space, you might have a little bit of a bend in the knees. We're going to push into our right hand as we bring that right leg behind the left, coming onto our seat. So that left foot is to the outside of the right leg. And then we kind of sink back to where we create this figure four by bringing the sole of that right foot onto the mat. And you can kind of windshield wiper here from side to side. Moving into a reverse table. So lift up those hips, gaze and stay straight ahead, or you can drop the head back, just depending on what feels good to your neck as you breathe in the chest and shoulders. Exhale, lower that seat, and then let your legs fall over towards the right. So we're facing the side of our mat, and we're moving into a twist. So our twist, we twist towards the back. Big breath in. Exhale. Releasing, we gaze towards the front of the mat. We place our hands there, And we'll get out of this by bringing that right foot down, and then left leg comes up, setting up for our second side. So we have another infinity flow. We'll bring that left leg through as we come into our exalted warrior. From our exalted, we'll face the other long edge of the mat for that wide twist. So left hand down, right arm reaches up, stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a slight bend in the knees as you bring that left leg behind the right, coming onto your seat. So again, right foot will be to the outside of the left leg. I'm moving my mat all over the place a little bit. And then moving into that figure four. So creating that figure four by bringing the left foot onto the mat. And then maybe just kind of windshield wipering the legs from side to side, getting it used to this pose here. We'll inhale into our reverse table. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the seat. Let that foot go over to the side. So we're going to face the opposite long edge of the mat, or the right side. And then we twist towards the back. Inhale. Exhale. Face the front of the mat. Bring your hands down. Step that left foot back. And then your right leg is ready to go. And we'll start to move with more pacing. Bring it through as we inhale into our exalted. Exhale, wide twist. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. We inhale. Exhale, right leg comes behind the left as we come onto our seat. Coming into that figure four, we inhale into our reverse table. Exhale, lower the seat, and let that foot come to the side as we face the side of the mat. And then we twist to the back. We'll release, bringing those hands forward. Coming into one-legged down dog, we send that left leg back, and we'll bring it through. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, wide twist. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. Inhale, we are here. Exhale, bring that left leg behind as we come onto our seat. And then we create that figure four as we inhale, reverse table. Exhale, lower, and let that foot come to the side. We twist to the back. And then we release, bringing our hands forward. We come into our one-legged down dog. Bringing it through for exalted to our wide twist. Right leg behind the left as we come onto our seat. Moving into that figure four reverse table. And then we lower, letting that foot fall to the side, and we twist to the back. Moves fast. We'll face forward. And we have one more side. Left leg lifts. Bring it through for our exalted inhale. Exhale, wide twist. Left leg comes behind as we come onto our seat, moving into that figure four table. Our reverse table. And then we lower that seat, bringing that foot to the side, and we twist to the back. Facing forward, hands come forward, and we meet in our down dog, which means you did it. Awesome work. So take a moment, let it all sink in. It is my favorite part of the practice. It is peanut butter and jelly time. So we're bringing these two sequences together one last time. Let's meet at the front of our mat. I'm a magnet for miracles. I'm a magnet for miracles. Let's go. Left leg is on top. Left arm comes underneath for eagle pose. To our standing side bend. Semicircle to our half moon. To our runner's twist. We gaze down, goddess, left arm underneath. Warrior two to the back. Inhale, sky archer. Exhale, coming into our triangle pose. And then right hand comes down. Left leg lifts, moving into jelly. We bring it all the way through for our exalted. To our wide twist. Left hand down, right arm up. Bring that left leg underneath the right. Setting up for that figure four reverse table as we inhale. Exhale, we lower, letting that foot go to the side. We twist towards the front of our mat. And then we face the back, coming into our down dog. Can you believe it? One side is done. Let's make it our way to the top of our mat. which is really the back of our mat. We'll come all the way up. You've got this. Right leg is on top, right arm underneath for our eagle pose, to our standing side bend. Semicircle to your half moon, to our runner's twist. Gazing down, goddess stance, right arm comes underneath, to warrior two. Sky archer, to triangle pose. And then we bring that hand down, one-legged down dog. Bringing it through for exalted. To our wide twist. Bringing that right leg behind, we set up for that figure four reverse table. And then we lower it down, letting that foot fall to the side. We twist to the back. And then we face forward, hands come down to our down dog, which means that you did it. Yay, that's peanut butter and jelly. All right, let's make our way to a seat. Slow the breath down. And we'll go into some alternate nostril breathing. So we'll bring it to where we're hanging loose with our hand. We'll close off the right nostril as we inhale in through the left. And then we close off the left, exhale through the right. Inhale in through the right. Close off, exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close off, exhale right. So doing as many rounds as you like, equalizing both hemispheres of the brain, which is great for just creating a sense of calm, for balancing both hemispheres, for situations where you just need to get out of a mind fog. After you've completed your rounds, just sit still for a moment. Just let that sink in. We'll make our way onto our backs from here. And if you know of things that you like to conclude your practice with, this is that moment to do so. Otherwise, I suggest coming into some sort of rocking motion. So maybe windshield wipering the legs. You could come into a happy baby pose as you rock along the spine, or maybe place your hands onto your knees, making circles in one direction and the other. Just continuing calming our nervous system by having a rocking motion, because it really is calming to all of us, not just babies. And then checking in to see if you need anything else. If not, we are making our way to our final pose of Shavasana. I'd like to encourage you to take up space on your mat, nice wide stance with the legs, arms come down by the sides with palms facing up. And I'd like to encourage you to take up space, because our practice is a reflection of our lives off the mat. So the idea is that if we take up space here, we take up space once we go out into the world. And have so much gratitude for showing up today. So much gratitude for the hard work that you put in, and so much gratitude for this feeling that you created through those things. And be proud of yourself, because you did amazing. Know that I'm so proud of you. Allowing your breath to be soft here. Allowing your body just to surrender. Shavasana. As usual, please take as much time in Shavasana that you need. But if you're ready, you can come into a nice full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, extending those legs out in front of you. And then bringing the knees into your chest, we'll roll to one side in our fetal-like pose, our pose for new beginnings, just allowing this practice to sink in. And keeping in mind, I'm a magnet for miracles. We'll meet in a seated position of choice, where we'll bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali Mudra, tucking our chin under as we close our practice with Namaste. Thank you so much. It's always an honor to lead you, to guide you. Until next time.